Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? The date is, what's the date? 26th July 2018. Time right now is 10:23. Got this question from a gentleman in the Middle East. He said, Loy, I'm in my 40s. What advice would you give me in terms of changing careers or leaving UAE? What should I keep in mind? He wants to leave the UAE. Now, this is not the first time I've got questions like this. I've got questions from people in Bahrain, Qatar, Oman. They want to leave and start. Now, when you have dedicated your life into a particular field or industry, let's say engineering or insurance or logistics, especially in the Middle East, once you are there in that career, the market does not give you a chance to change careers. Let's say you are selling cars, automobiles. They won't accept you into building materials, selling that, just because people feel that you're good in sales and selling cars, you have to continue with cars. So if you're in the printing business, nobody's going to expect you to start selling shoes. And if you do, they'll expect you to start right at the bare bones minimum. So now comes the question that you want to leave the Middle East. What do you want to do? See, the analogy I'll give you is just as, when you want to get married, you plan out, okay, I'm going to marry this person. Where are we going to get married? You're going to get married, okay, this particular date, this particular hotel, these many guests, and number of guests. This is the food that we will order. This is our budget. The alcohol will be there, not be there. Who's the DJ? Who are the caterers? Who are the people who will do the decoration? Whom shall we invite? So you plan all these things out. You plan all this out, and you might even get a wedding planner. You'll plan out everything from the budget to the expenses to the entertainment. So just as you put all this thought into marriage, you need to put the same thought into when you're leaving the Middle East. Okay, you leave the Middle East. When you leave the Middle East, you'll go to a new country or you'll go back to your old country. Remember this, nobody knows you. Nobody wants to know you unless you're filthy rich. If you're rich, everyone will come and kiss your ass because they would want a piece of the pie, want a piece of your wealth. That's why people will kiss your ass. And so that's number one. First and foremost is you must have money. You do not have money, it's a big problem. And if you're going to a third world country, I would say $100,000 per person. If you're going to the West, it would be at least $200,000. This is very hard, man. It's very hard. This is annually. Yes, you can have something cheaper. You can even manage with $50,000 if you go to a third world country. But then it's always good to have excess money than to have less money. So first one is money. You need to have savings. The second thing is you need to know what is the skill that you specialize in, that people would pay you money. Because in order to get money, you need to give something of value. So you give value, you get value. Let's say, for example, I give people advice. People pay me money. The advice that I give is based on years of specialization in personal branding. I can't just give people advice. Let's say, for example, now I might know bodybuilding because I've done bodybuilding. But I don't have a big physique. I don't have rippling muscles. I don't have size. I don't have power. So even if I talk of bodybuilding, people will say like, who the fuck are you to talk? And if I tell them, hey, listen, man, I had experience 16 years. They'll be like, show me your fucking body, then talk. So you need to have experience, you need to have expertise, and you need to have something to show. And yes, provide value. So even though I can talk on bodybuilding, I have nothing to show. But in personal branding, I have a lot of stuff to show. I have recommendations, I have expertise, I have knowledge, So focus on the area that you specialize in, where you're an expert and where you can give value, and then where you can ask a sum of money. Now, the next thing which is important is, remember, there's a difference between being an employee, okay, being a typical employee whereby you work under someone, and by being a freelancer where you have to promote yourself and sell yourself, and being a businessman where you buy goods at a particular price, put your personal touch or creativity to it and sell it. So, but there, remember, being a businessman has multiple aspects: managing expense, cutting down costs, negotiating, selling, managing the business, the logistics. It's not easy at all. So don't assume that from an employee you can be an employer. So you need to decide which stream you're going to go. And please keep this in mind. If you have been an employee throughout your life, don't suddenly jump into the bandwagon of saying, okay, I'm going to go to Thailand, I'll be a businessman. Or I'll go to Thailand, I'll be a freelancer. No. Where you are, if you're in Qatar, you're in Bahrain, you're in Kuwait, as you're working, you set up your side business, your freelancing gig or your business. Bring it up, nurture it, start selling or whatever. And your goal should be whatever revenue that you're earning as an employee, you should be able to generate the same amount of money, net profit, net, on your gig. And once you can do that, then you slowly make the transition from being an employee to freelancer. But remember, this whole journey takes 2 years or 3 years. Once you have made the transition, okay, and you're sure that you have a track record of 3 years or 5 years where you keep getting money, even without having an employee-based job, then you can move. And this will help you in the transition to move to another country, because you'll be living a life whereby you get revenue without being dependent on a location. So yeah, and last if not the least, I would say that do not take any decision impulsively. Money is most important. Contacts is very important. And when you go to a new country, yes, people will be sweet and nice to you, but once the welcome carpet wears off, everyone's busy in their own world, everyone has their own headaches, everyone has their own expense. Do not, under any circumstance, expect your mother, father, brother, sister, your friends to be there for you, because nobody fucking cares. Everyone has their own shit to take care of. And if you have your wife, your spouse, it's a good idea to have your spouse work so that she can support you or take care, shoulder the expense. So as you are making the transition to a new country, you start from zero. Obviously, if you're a director in a country, unless you are a amazing brand with an exceptional track record, you're not going to get a director's position in another country. So if you're doing day-to-day jobs like logistics, sales, banking, expect for 2 to 4 positions lower. Expect whatever income you're getting, half, because you're going to a new country, a new location, so they would pay you less because they know you need the job more than them. And as you start getting local experience, as you build on that and prove yourself, you can climb. So have your spouse work while you set up your base from scratch, and then slowly let your partner migrate with you, and then have your children come there. So this is what, at the end of the day, remember, money is the name of the game. Without money, nothing happens. And last but not the least, if this helps, take professional advice. Don't be stingy. Don't just read the internet, watch some videos, speak to random people. Seek out professional help if you're making this transition. Get yourself a mentor, someone who's very successful. It can be maybe in your own country, or somebody who's already there but who has achieved exceptional success. Someone who cares about you, or whom you have a professional paid relationship but is there for you. This will really help you. And don't assume that just because you're successful in the past 20 years, the next 20 you're going to be successful. It is, your past doesn't equate your future. You might have been lucky, and you just don't know if your luck runs out. So Loy from LoyMachedo.com, who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding. Let me know your views down below. I'd always read your comments and thoughts. And yeah, like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. It's me signing off for now. Take care.